everyone. Welcome back to another AAA meeting. I'm your host, Sinatra Says. As usual, with me is Polydub. That's where you talk. All right. I mean, he's here, just not talking. I guess he's too good for us little folk. I guess we're just not up to snuff anymore. Ain't that about a bitch? What's going on, chat? Happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. I hope you're prepared for a super... What the shit? No.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Hello. Welcome, Polydub.
I have a lot to talk about this.
What in the fuck
morning.
is going on? Okay, that's good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Okay, chat can hear you. Good, good. What's going on, buddy?
I'm here.
You sound like Poopy.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Never
Pretend like we didn't just have this conversation.
Well, yeah, I didn't tell you what was going on, so you didn't know that. But don't ever buy them roast chickens from the grocery store. Don't do that.
Well, looks like I'm keeping steady. That's I already was not doing that.
You know the ones I mean? And
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
The rotisserie chickens. Don't ever buy one of those. I swear I got a bad bird, man. It like within 3 hours of eating it, I was fuck it. What do I care? If people are eating right now, stop. I was throwing up since yesterday. My stomach hurts from throwing up so much. I mean, the muscles from like
yeah,
like when you've done abs day, probably you'll go you'll be sitting down or laying down and you'll go to get up and your muscles will remind you that they're stressed. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's
abs,
what it feels
yeah.
like. From throwing up from hangovers. That's what I know. Yeah. So
that's more accurate.
Yeah, my throat's a little well, same reason. I'm pretty sure it's the same reason. I was yelling at the grocery store too, cursing their name and their CEO and whoever left the chickens out for 3 days and still sold them or whatever the fuck happened.
I mean, as you should. That's something I would go back to the grocery store with. Like, I almost died.
Yeah. Remember Nick Ricade saying, when you got real drunk on stream, like not regular Ricade drunk, but like plastered. And he stands up and leans right into his camera to the point where it goes out of focus and says, "Don't ever fuck with someone with free access to the legal system." And I was like, oh my God. Nick, we feared it, but it's true.
It's so true. Advocate says, "I only eat the finest gas station sushi." Yeah, well, that's good advice. I was already doing it, but it's still good advice.
I thought they just, I don't know, didn't rotisserie any more than they needed. It was.
What did the chicken have? Apparently bad. The chicken had bad. That sucks. Guys,
we're here though. That's what counts.
That is
ready
true.
To go.
You are here no matter how sick you're feeling.
Yeah. So,
guys, we have a hell of a show put together tonight. It's a little slapdash, but I try to put my normal spin on it, and with the articles and the whatnot. I have one video I want to take a look at, but before we do that, before we do anything, I have to take a look at the ratio to see that these people aren't doing their math. With 40 and 25, I like that there's more people on the Silent Sin now. That's where they should be. And then 104 and 50? What is wrong with you people? Why are you not liking the stream? And, of course, share it out. Make sure you're on the Silent Sin watching, because if you're not, you're a communist. And I have a whole bunch of new donations down below. If you guys want to check those off, I specifically want Polly to see the 2050. I think he'll like that one. I think that will speak to you on a spiritual level.
Darren Root says, it could have been worse. It could have been from the other end. I left that part of the story out. Thanks for bringing it up, Darren. I appreciate that.
I kind of assumed it was.
You ever been in that position? I mean, pity me. Woe is me.
The physical position, yeah.
You because I've got two situations.
If you're tired of starting over, stop
starting over.
Give up.
Yes.
Don't dream. Just stop working hard and let your dreams be dreams. You can't do it. Nothing is possible, and you're not gonna make it.
That's how I feel. For sure. Thank you very much, 1125. For some reason, I hear this in my dreams, but a more fucked version. I mean, at least it isn't a nuclear explosion coming closer to kill, atomic explosion coming closer to kill me. So I think it's an improvement for better or for worse. No idea though.
All right.
Yeah, you don't want to hear Shia in your dreams.
No, not necessarily. Not really.
It depends what year Shia, you know.
Even Steven Shia, still probably not, actually.
I honestly, anywhere from 2015.
Ain't you supposed to be a teacher? I am a fucking criminal. I don't know how I got here, but I'm here. And I'm gonna run this bitch real tight. Well, I'm not gonna give you my phone. Well, I'm not gonna let you keep fucking breathing in. Shit.
It's so stupid, but I love it. I'm a fucking criminal.
Ain't you supposed to be a teacher? I am a fucking criminal. I don't know how I got here, but I'm here. And I'm gonna run this bitch real tight. Well, I'm not gonna give you my phone. Well, I'm not gonna let you keep fucking breathing in. Shit.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I almost just choked on my own saliva. Fostonia, boom, 2050, served up hot for Polly. There you go. Love you guys. No homo. A little homo. And Looney Lenny, 2052, bang. Thank you very much. But yeah, man, you're fighting the double-ended curse there. That sucks.
Have you ever in your life contemplated the only win in that scenario? Fuck it.
Death?
I'm dropping trout and standing in the bathtub. I have never had to do it, but I've contemplated it. Because it's going to come out of both ends at the same time, you see.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but that's...
I always manage to okay, I'm going to throw up real quick and then turn around real quick. I could do a succession of incidents.
Do you not have a bucket?
I've done that. I have done that, sitting on the toilet because I have a garbage can in my bathroom because I live in the first world, so of course I do. And it's one of them small bathroom trash cans.
Yeah.
They sell them at Walmart for $5. Like I said, I live in the first world. It's not a problem.
Right.
But I don't know. I've gone to people's houses and you'll blow your nose, and I've looked around and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm flushing this.
No, dude, you need it has never occurred to me to go in the bathtub.
Then you've never experienced that's the position I'm referring to. Both ends are of immediate, requirement of attention.
I've been in that position, but there's a trash can. I'll recruit one from another room.
Really?
Oh God, yeah.
No, and while you're running there.
No, it's with me.
What? What if on the way to you start looking for one? There's one in the room down the hall. I'm going to run down there, and on your way there,
there's always a bucket or a large pot or a fish tank somewhere nearby. If I'm to the point where it's stand outside, then I might as well. No, to stand in the tub, I might as well go outside and just hose myself off afterward.
Yeah, I called it the nightmare scenario for a reason. I mean, you don't want to be there.
Primal antics. It's whatever is bowl shaped in my path. Whatever, a box. I'll stick a paper bag or a bag in there. It's I have not been. Not in the first world, I guess.
Remember when we were talking to holy fuck, when would that have been? Because both Alex and Drunkle were there. Did Alex come by one day?
He's been by, yeah.
It's been so long. I don't remember when he was. Anyway, they both said, why
we
don't
took
you
the wheelchair access off the front door so he can't come in anymore, but don't tell him that's the whole reason we took it off.
It's not them other people. It's just one guy. Don't feel bad, paraplegics.
You're perfectly welcome, but this one's not.
But yeah, you haven't been singled out here. He has.
He says too many bad words.
And for Sherman, thank you for the $3. I mean, my recent dream is a plague doctor telling me not to fight and let the sickness to take over. So yeah, I don't know what I've been more scared of in my dreams, the hellish reality we live in.
Yes.
If there were actual plague doctors with the mask and everything, I'd say your dreams are worse.
I was a plague doctor for Halloween in 2020. I dressed up as a plague doctor, and Shelly made a coronavirus outfit. It was like Corona Chan.
Uh-huh.
And that was the best fucking outfit ever. We lost the couples contest, so it's bullshit. F for Lisa Loring. Yeah, I saw that.
I
just
saw it when I turned my computer on. Yeah, that's fucked up. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. But I do have a video.
Pat is on top of this shit, man. Like I'm sure he's already got a video coming down the pike, you know?
Oh yeah, Pat is on it, man. He is solid for some good information. But
yeah, it's up to Pat.
Yeah, exactly. I do have a video I want to take a look at with you, and it's
Pat's not wrench Pat, man.
What?
So
he's not wrenched. What's he on the new one? Oh yeah, there he is.
Freedom.
I was about to say, so we can throw up the link. Sub to Pat.
That word didn't trigger you?
What?
Throw it up.
No.
I would have voted for Sinatra. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
If you had started to talk about food now, on the other hand, I'm not going near my food porn folder.
Have you seen the Pfizer Bitch Boy video yet? Yeah, we covered it Friday, right here on this channel. You want to read those? We can take a look at the video I got.
Sure. Just the one. Lamented guy. Thank you for the $1. Time for some unsolicited herbal tea remedies for you. Ginger, peach, green tea, and honey with lemon. Good for indigestion and nausea. Yeah, it's times like this. I wish I had fresh ginger in the house. No, wait, scratch that. It's at times like this that I wish I had a girlfriend that lived nearby that wasn't a cold-hearted bitch. Because I could say, baby, could you bring me some ginger? Because I'd make up for this in some other day, in some other way. You know? Hello?
I hate to say it, AAA is my favorite show, but I think it's done. It's great, but even the hosts aren't turning up anymore. Shut it down before it gets depressing. I will continue to follow Aki and the Mongoose. Who the hell is that?
Who the hell said that?
It's someone on Twitter. Who the hell is Aki?
Oh, that's the person's name. I thought the ackee and saltfish is a traditional Jamaican dish. Ackee's a fruit.
I must be talking about you then.
Because I'm Jamaican, right? I get it.
Oh, fuck. Whatever. All right. Okay. Thank you, Alamo. I'll parse that in. That actually slots in perfectly 2 minutes ago. Wow, that is some breaking news. But I have a video. You want to take a look at this video?
Look at Derek LaRue out there. What is Twitter? I wish I lived in your world, Derek. Yes, I do want to see the video. Absolutely.
Guys, smash the like button. Math ratio is not adding. Yes. I'm checking. I see them. They're not adding. Smash the like button. Share it out. Make sure you're on the Silent Sin. And please, if you feel so inclined, support the hosts who decided to show up today. And Streamlabs listed down below. I have a few new donations. I know Polly does as well. And I got to share the screen to you. Bang, bang. And then just go over here, click bang. So we're going to take a look.
Aki and Selfish. Well, the dish itself is delicious. You leave a bad taste in my mouth. Fake Twitter equivalent. Fuck you. Fuck you and everyone that looks like you. Yep. Miserable fuck. That pisses me off. What the hell?
I've never had it.
No, I'm not talking about the fucking food, man. I'm talking about what they said.
All right, let's take a look at this video. This is from MSNBC. This is giving me some. This is giving me some unhinged vibes, like a motherfucker.
I have a lot to talk about this morning.
God.
I do want to say though.
Oh yes, indeed.
Shit, hold on. Let me turn it up. Turning up all the things because it's pretty quiet. I want to hear, the fake conservative commie fucks talk. I mean, this is live footage from inside a mental institution. So, come on, MSNBC.
It really is.
Take it away, Morning Joe.
This thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I mean,
somebody that spews out COVID misinformation somehow
made fun of science.
Being a part of this.
Made fun of science. She's made fun of science.
Is that what she did? I don't think that's what she did.
It's not.
I think she, in her well-known way, in an off-the-cuff, sharp-elbowed, unsmooth way, called out some scienticians who couldn't back up what they were saying, taking fucking random guesses and using the credibility of their field as a cloak to cover up their bullshit.
I like how everybody's saying hi to Scribe because I said hi to Scribe, but he's in the other chat and everyone's still saying hi to him.
Well, that's just the amount of popularity he carries, man. Don't be jealous. Envious?
I am a little bit envious.
Imagine how I feel.
It's a concern because, my experience is COVID misinformation it continues to fly across Twitter, across Facebook, across the internet. I'm going to say, I know this would be surprising to a lot of people. My Twitter experience has been pretty good. I mean, even Trumpers, for the most part, fairly polite. Some will say, yeah, they wish I was dead or something, but they say it nicely. And
I heard he's killer on the internet.
Oh yeah, man, the kids love Joe.
Hey, killer to work for too.
But no, it's been pretty good.
Was that too much?
No, I just didn't get it the first time you said it. Like usually, saying it a second time doesn't make it funny, but it did in my case because I didn't pick it up the first time around the block. That was good. Not too much.
The past couple of years.
Just right for this motherfucker here.
Just sprinkled a little bit extra on. You want to grab that real quick?
Yeah. And for sure, thank you for the $3. It was a plague doctor from the Black Death era. Well, yeah, the long crane nose, whatever. I mean, at least it wasn't a white, long-armed and legged thingy that tried to kill me for looking at it. I think I shouldn't read SCP.
Oh, that's an SCP.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that SCP. I covered that one.
What? Hold on. What's the SCP? Like, what's the creature?
SCP-096, the Shy Guy.
I can't believe you knew the number.
It was one of the more recent ones, yeah.
Okay. It sounded like he was describing a giant human-sized crane that carried the plague.
Yeah, kind of. Without the whole plague part, but yeah.
The exception, though, are from anti-vaxxers. Mm-hmm. And now let me say something about anti-vaxxers.
Oh, tell me, Joe.
You are on a news show. Keep in mind, this is a news show. He's left the script behind. You are not a AAA co-host. This is you can't talk about the news and then ramble about your own opinion for 4 times as long.
But you know what? I would be fine with it if he didn't market himself as a news show.
Up top. Absolutely. That's the whole fucking point. If you want to run a visual blog from inside the mental home, that's fine. But stop calling yourself a journalist. And speaking of people with white coats, why haven't they come and medicated you yet?
Really sorry for anti-vaxxers and
I
their
don't want to be strong like men who look pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fight bears in the forest.
Hi, scribe.
Yay! Bar, thank you for the 1650. I've missed this. Long live Hummingbird. Well, as long as there's a good Samaritan coming by to pull him out of trees, he'll be fine.
Hi, scribe. Okay, so in my house, I'm the one that chose violence. Yet my boyfriend dropped Joe here. Yes. Thank you, Valine. Agreed.
when they were left-wing freaks. And I feel really sorry for anti-vaxxers and their children now that they're right-wing freaks.
You know what?
People,
Joe, shut up about people's kids.
Yeah,
Like, I realize he didn't name Timmy and Johnny and Suzanne or whatever the fuck. Like, I get that, but like, just shut up about people's kids, man. It's a bad look. Fuck's wrong with you?
He doesn't have kids, does he?
I don't know. Like, do him and Mika, did they spawn in whatever manner they do?
Alcohol.
She produces a pod, he fertilizes
booze.
it.
Yes, they do.
You just looked it up and they do?
Yep.
Oh, God. See, you don't want to hear people saying, I feel sorry for any left-wingers kids with all the indoctrination they have to take at the breakfast table about how evil Trump is and like trying to like, no 5-year-old gives a fuck about politics. They don't understand it. It's boring because they're not connecting policy to how it affects your life and so on and so forth. Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
Remember when that was all the rage when people were hitting peak TDS? When it's like my child is having nightmares about Donald Trump in the White House.
My son walked up to me and asked, "Why is he allowed to say these things?"
Yeah, right.
Sure.
He said that.
It's the other, and then everyone clapped stories.
Yeah. I feel sorry for anti-vaxxers, kids. Now, not because they're anti-vax, but because they've gone right-wing. So wait a minute. You're not worried about them, in your mind, contracting COVID, even though they're statistically the least likely group 2? You're now worried about the far worse virus of Trumpomania?
Trumpomania is running wild.
What you gonna do, brother? It's Crossfire.
Sorry, good.
Crossfire 4891. Thank you for the $2. Joe the Schnoz Scarborough definitely needs to get off them deranged vibes. Genuinely think this dude should be in an asylum with Rob Reiner, given all their deranged rantings about Orange Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what would be his core complaint if not that? The GOP generally, probably, I guess. I sort of
Just
answered my own question.
Right-wingers existing.
Yeah.
Jacobson, it's been a hot minute. Missed you, man. Hope everything in the family is well. I know I'm late. Did I miss anything important? Oh, not a whole lot. Thank you for the buckaroo. I appreciate it, man.
Conspiracy theories are so bizarre.
Yeah.
They're ignoring science.
And
these are people
denying themselves the right to health.
Well, and not only that, we're starting.
Ignoring science and denying yourself the right to health. How exactly am I doing that by not taking an experimental shot?
You know what? Lady of the Technicolor Shaw. Fuck off. I just...
You migraine.
You physical manifestation of a migraine. Shut up. Like, all I see is colors with a black center. It's horrible.
It's awful.
Starting to see all of these old diseases that we beat, that science beat, that medicine beat, starting to come back because these freaks spread misinformation on Twitter, on Facebook, And here's the thing, they're so rabid and so inspired by people like MTG that they actually celebrated Damar Hamlin almost dying. And
I'm sorry. I run in certain circles on the internet. The ones should not surprise you. I did not see anybody celebrating Hamlin having a heart attack in the middle of a football game. That shit was terrifying.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. It was, you laugh out of awkwardness. People laugh like that. People almost celebrate. What are you? Fuck off.
Like nobody celebrated that. Nobody.
They politicized the event, and now some of these freaks are
this
actually
motherfucker
saying that he's
calling
a
people
body
freaks
double,
over
that
and
he
over again, saying they celebrated or politicized an event. Joe, it's time for a head check, man. Your show is based around politicizing events.
877 CASHNOW. 877 CASHNOW. 877 CASHNOW.
Mr. Walrus, I sent a little something to the P.O. box today. Hopefully USPS gets there fine. Let's hope. Let's hope. I had to go to the P.O. box today to get the shipping labels for the McKinley stuff that'll be out this week. So if you want to get in on, if you already are in on it, send me a message. Get in touch with me. I've already talked to a lot of people, but if you have not gotten in touch with me yet, shoot me a message so I can cross-reference and make sure everything's good, and I can get your package out. And if you want to join, you know how
Alcohol,
to do so.
liquor, booze.
Zed, can you tell this guy is lying out his puckered and nobody's inspired by MTG? That's a fact. That's a whole fact.
C. Thomas, thank you for the $2. Listen here, you fermented surly otter man. Trust the science, for they are better than us. Never mind the rolling goalposts. They're not moving. They're rolling now. They just got them on wheels. It makes it easier. Yeah, I like that. Never mind the rolling goalposts and the obvious bias.
Sorry.
Some conspiracy that he's dead, but the Damar Hamlin figure that we're seeing is a body double. You know, the thing is, you can't explain anything to people that are that skewed. So I'm just going to do this as a public service announcement to those people who actually love their children and love the.
Dude, this is going to take such an insane turn here in a minute. Just keep watching. Just keep watching.
Just referencing the kids once was enough to get me angry. He pulled back to it.
Love their families and their friends and want them to be healthy. You know, yesterday when I was talking about getting COVID and should have gotten a fourth booster shot, a lot of these freaks go, "Oh, fourth booster shot, robot."
I should get my fifth and sixth one, too.
No, listen, here's the deal, moron. If you get a flu shot, what do? Do you go to the doctor and go, "Oh, my God, you want me to have a 50th flu shot?" No, you get a flu shot every year.
Right.
Yeah, you don't get 8 in a year.
Or something that the scientists told you was a one and done, do not get COVID preventative. Then acting like history didn't exist and nobody had access to information from the past, months past, said, "No, we never said that. We meant that it was going to lessen your symptoms." You don't think that cut one leg out from your credibility table that only had 3 to begin with?
So I went to a comedy show Friday after the show for Miss Sin's birthday, and the opening comic was bombing bad, like really bad.
Are you taking shots at my jokes? I'm trying. I'm sick. Fuck you.
No, shut up. Listen, he's bombing really bad, and it was to the point where he was just like, "So, yeah." And I was like, "Ugh." But he's like, I'm all vaccinated, all boosted up. And I swear to God, there were like 4 people in the audience going, "Boo."
They just said the word, didn't make the sound.
They just said, "Boo." And then the headliner, Dave Landau, came up and he's like, "Oh, since we're talking
that's
about
right.
vaccine."
How'd that go?
He was really good on stage. He killed it, even though the opener bombed. He gets up on stage and he's like, yeah, I'm vaccinated except for the one. And just kind of looked. He's like, I didn't get the one.
And as we're finding out with this pandemic,
polio, whooping cough, measles,
oh yeah, he said that. He's like, I got my MMR, my my rubella, all that stuff, but I didn't get the one.
Yeah, because those are actual vaccines that prevent you from getting the disease, and there's decades worth of evidence to prove that.
And that was his first joke was, imagine getting the polio vaccine and waking up the next day and your legs are 2 different sizes. You'd be like, what the fuck? Who lied to me?
Well, the other one would have been longer had you not gotten it, Dave. That's what we've said the whole time.
Last 6 months, maybe a year. So yes, put on your big boy pants, put on your big girl pants. And if you want to be healthy, I don't care. If you don't, that's your business. Smoke cigarettes, do whatever you want to do. Stay up all night, don't sleep. That's fine.
Smoke cigarettes, stay up all night, don't sleep.
Alcohol, liquor, booze.
Could this guy be much more smug?
We're looking at sea otters. 6 of them here.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
We're looking at sea otters.
I love that donation so much. Hey, not all of us scienticians are like this. Some of us don't even get the flu shot. I'm 73 years old and can read risk categories. Sorry.
Alcohol, liquor, booze.
Thank you, Valine. I didn't know you were so old. Oh.
I had a suspicion. She kept talking about, I'm glad for the rubella vaccine because it was rampant in her youth. Akira, thank you for the $2. Just got an ass load of freedom seeds for cheap from a friend, and he gave me the red dot for feeling free.
Ooh, nice.
Seems like
Jealous.
good timing. Yeah. What?
Be unhealthy, your choice. My concern here, though, and let me bring in Reverend Sharpton because we've talked about this.
Oh, God! Oh, Sid! Jesus Christ, man! I'm not 100%. What the fuck? I'm talking a bunch of moralizing bullshit about some bullshit. Let's bring in the good Reverend, because this guy hasn't made a career of it.
We're bringing in Reverend Al Sharpton to get his expertise on anti-vax. I told you this just took a fucking turn.
I'm literally shaking the whole 9 yards, man. What the?
I told you this took a turn.
This is. It is. For me, it's a televised mental institution. Dave Rubin is right. For fuck's sake.
Amside, is that the dono that sends a guy to the back rooms? So what is that? The $2? Somebody needs to hit Polly's $2 and my $33.34 back to back. I'm just gonna put that part out there. Back to back.
Scientician credibility, thank you for the $2. Scientician credibility, thank you for the $2. Error does not exist. Yeah.
Let me bring in
Can you imagine doing
Reverend
that much
Sharpton,
damage to your own field?
Yeah, it's
this. My concern, Rev, is that there's a disinformation out there where people are saying, oh, well, it doesn't work because you.
So you can be unhealthy if you want. You can drink and smoke all you want. Brings on a guy who looks like he hasn't drank, slept. Looks like he's been drinking, hasn't slept, and smoked 42 cartons of cigarettes today.
Not to mention that doesn't look like I'm not trying to cast aspersions, and I am not a dietitian or a scientician, but that doesn't look like diet weight loss.
No.
Remember Reverend Al? Roly-poly Reverend Al?
You a big boy.
Yeah. And now he's like pencil neck Al. I mean, that's the kind of shit you see like when someone's on their deathbed. You know what I mean?
Well, he is like 142.
Yeah. His deal with Satan ran out. So now he's like on his own, and it's, you know,
it's catching up to him.
Yeah. The ravages of time and reality are catching up to him.
And they say black don't crack. And for the most part, that's been proven pretty true. But
yeah. All you need to do is when somebody says that, pull out your phone and type in Don Cheadle and show him a picture from this year.
Good Lord.
He is the fastest aging man that I have ever seen.
He looks insane for 23.
I mean, I guess I should feel bad for him, and I kind of do, but it's more like a point and laugh thing at this moment, because it's like, good Lord, you're getting old fast.
Getting booster shots. The thing is, you're always trying to build up your immunity, and people are still dying from COVID. Is it a crisis right now? Well, for the people who are dying of COVID, yeah, it's a crisis. Is it as bad as it's been? No. But as a doctor explained to me when I didn't want to get flu shots, you're not just doing it for yourself, Joe. You're doing it for everybody. Will this stop you from...
I have never had a doctor tell me that when I got a flu shot in my life, or to try to get me a flu shot, I should say.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Isn't there like a r/my doctor said subreddit for you to go type your shit on, Joe?
There has to be. There has to be.
You know what I'm thinking about just now for like the first time? You watch a fuck ton of Tucker Carlson tonight, like the way he talks.
I have, yes.
Yeah, and his style and his approach, and I watch Tucker. I think Joe's trying to fucking riff on his style. He's just terrible at it.
He is. He is.
Going so far as like, I'll tell you, these morons are freaks, and he'll repeat the line again and again, right? You know, like Don Lemon, for example. He'll repeat the line again and again. I'm just watching him like, you seem like you're doing a really horrible Tucker impression. I think you want his fame. I think you want to be him.
Oh, that's just never going to happen.
Like this highly entertaining, his theory is Joe's going to like, I'm going to do this highly entertaining, opinion-based, vitriol-filled anger fest, and then turn to the guest, and then do a 90-second question introduction. That's Tucker's, that's his steez right there. That's how he rolls.
Don't forget, Al's credibility is built on the Tawana Brawley case, which was proven to be all the way up to the... who has proven all the way up to the FBI to have lied the whole way, naturally.
Reverend Al is the one thing I would like to know from him and Michael Eric Dyson. They both claim to be ordained ministers and preachers and pastors. Who's your congregation? You guys are constantly on the move. You have a fucking a publicist, a talent agent, and a manager to book all of your slots on TV and the articles that you need to be ghost written for you. Where's your church? Like, I'm tired of the fake names. Like, if you don't have a membership, you ain't no reverend.
Mm-hmm.
It's put it after your name, like every other post-nominal. You have a fucking Masters of Theology and MPhil. Okay, great. Put it after your name like everybody else does. I don't believe that these people are actual active religious leaders. I don't know, it makes me angry.
They just want that as a like bolster to their name.
Exactly. It's for the credibility. And it makes it all the worse. It's like, oh, wait, hold on. We got a ordained man of God talking here. He wouldn't lie. Reverend Al, never.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to make a donation that's nothing but like pictures of Reverend Al from the 70s. He looks
show
like
him all fat.
Yeah, with a tracksuit on, zipped down to his belly button with a giant gold chain on and a fucking medallion the size of a dinner plate. No, I'm not exaggerating. I have that picture over in my meme folder, and he's fat as fuck. He looks like Jesus Christ, a Barry White disco godfather. And a permed hairdo and the whole nine. Oh my God.
He's a reverend the same way Joe Biden's a doctor. All right, so I just wanted to get the juxtaposition from, so these freaks from COVID, anti-vaxxers, Al Sharpton, how do you feel about this? Like, what? Al Sharpton? But I want to hear what he has to say real quick.
Yeah.
Getting the flu? No, but it'll make the flu that you get a little less intense. Same thing with COVID boosters. Will it stop you from getting COVID? No, but it will make COVID less intense. Something I said
Same
yesterday.
thing with the measles vaccine.
But this misinformation keeps getting spewed out there, and unfortunately the weakest And perhaps the least educated are the ones that fall prey to these stupid lies. And I call them stupid lies. And I don't call a lot of things like just out and out stupid unless they're objectively stupid. And you look at
Look at Allie's like, would you shut the fuck? You've been rambling for a minute and a half, and I'm just sitting here. Shut the fuck up.
He's doing Tucker's style all wrong. Think about how Tucker takes like a good minute to 90 seconds of front-loading, speechifying, and question asking before he lets the person talk. But there's two things about that. One, Tucker's really, really good at it and entertaining about it. And then number two, it's usually got something to do with what he was talking about before, and it's not full of ums and ahs.
Yeah,
like
he doesn't
you
have
can't
him
be him.
way through it.
Yeah, be you, not him, because you're a terrible him.
So you look at all of the medicine; it's straightforward, and we've had how many people have died from COVID?
I've lost track.
Yeah.
I will have to look at the number.
But they'll even lie to you about that, saying, "Oh, there's actually they broke their ankle and died from a broken ankle. It wasn't COVID." So, Rev.
Oh, it's just
the
pulling out her
CDC
phone.
advisor just said that was the case that they needed. She published an op-ed in the Washington Post describing how we need to reassess how we're doing COVID deaths. Because you remember the Asian lady, you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember her name immediately.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because they were counting died with as died from.
Right, exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Like that was her phrase. And we need to reassess how we go about doing this because it's not. Joe, you're working out of an old rule book, man. These are lines from like 2 years ago plus.
So is no one going to question why he has a random picture of Al Sharpton saved in his personal folder? No, I wasn't going to question it at all. Just going to let it go.
This disinformation,
And he's still going.
It afflicts all communities. At the beginning, it afflicted people of color
disproportionately
more.
communities of color.
Now we're finding it's afflicting white people, the disinformation. It's a real danger. And so now Kevin McCarthy's promoting this BS. People are going to die because of it.
For Christ's sake, Mika's on her phone.
Yeah,
Sam.
she's so checked out. I started
Holy
to say
shit.
it, but she just pulled her phone out and just started scrolling Facebook.
Brother, she's on her phone. That is a stunning level of unprofessionalism. That's why you have a laptop in front of you. Lots of news people do. And it's so they can look like they're reading their script, going over their talking points, whatever, when in reality they're up on fucking, Snapchat or whatever. Mika.
She's just pulled out her phone, set out.
She's done. Like what's going to happen? Her co-anchor, husband's going to yell at her. She'll deny him saggy booby sex. No way.
I love, and here, let me pull it back. You can see her pull it out. Watch. She's had it out for a while.
An ankle. It wasn't COVID.
Hey, yo, invest in stocks, gamers.
All right, no, just wait for my fucking time.
E to the dubs. It's Polydub.
Bitch, let me have it. I'm not savage.
Why do you keep screaming, bro?
Baby, that's a habit.
Thank you very much, Festonia, for the $25. We can bank that limeage for later. Holy shit, Polly! As much as I love epic poly rants, pestilence-ridden Polly experiencing liquid volcanism from both ends, and on a rant is way better. Well done, sir. Get better, man.
Watch the slide, the phone slide.
Yeah.
About that, saying, "Oh, it was actually they broke their ankle and died from a broken ankle. It wasn't COVID."
She just reached over and got, she's like, okay. All right, getting my phone. This dude just got fired. He made it sound like he might care about white people while still being on MSNBC. What?
Yeah, which dude just got fired?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but thank you. Gulf City Librarian.
I can say this. The way he said that, if you weren't open to a charitable interpretation, which you should be, of that line, it sounded like things were bad for everyone, but now we really got to care because white people are getting it. That's not what he meant.
Yes.
No.
It was just the order of words. You know what I mean? So it's an example of why misinterpreting somebody's words deliberately just to make them sound bad, Joe,
We're looking at sea otters.
is not cool.
6 of them here.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
We're looking at sea otters.
Oh shit! Look, there's another one I want you to see if people would be so kind. It's 9/11, the 9/11 donation.
I missed.
What did she say while she whispered to grab her phone? I'm gonna do some research.
Do you think she's looking up how many deaths it was, or is she getting like emergency DMs from her fucking production assistant with
A
the
little
death
column
number?
A lot of column B.
Well,
Oh my
Nika,
God,
you're-
misinformation is going to kill us all. To borrow the Welshman's line, what does that even mean? That's my line. Like all the other buzzwords, disinformation have been stripped of all useful meaning. Yep. Thank you, C. Thomas and Valine. Remember, Mika and Joe are married. What does that tell you? Quite a bit. Quite a bit.
C. Thomas, thank you for the $3.
Sorry.
Bringing up on Al Sharpton on this is such a desperate move. Your average American has been tuning out for a reason. Yeah. Why don't you have a better stable of people to go to? Even if they're not. Tucker does. He goes to researcher on this matter, columnist on this matter, like not nationally famous people, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or in Al's case, nationally infamous. And now we turn to O.J. Simpson to talk about global warming. Like, what the fuck?
No doubt about it. I think the most vulnerable in society are the ones that have been marketed this kind of disinformation to prey on their natural suspicion, to prey on their natural not believing in a system.
He's worried
that
about
they
the
felt
QAnon
wasn't fair
crowd.
to-
Wow.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you guys get the gist of it. But yeah, don't worry about it. Oop, 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 oop. Don't worry about it, though. Because President Biden to end the COVID-19 emergency 2 months after he voted to extend it. Or forcibly extended it. So that just kind of renders everything Joe just said inert.
Let your dog ride shotgun. Make your wife sit in back. Be a man.
Shit, I missed it.
Here, I'll replay it for you.
All right, cool.
Let your dog ride shotgun. Make your wife sit in back. Be a man.
Okay, now I just turned it up now. Do what you gotta do.
Oh, you want me to replay it again?
No. I'm saying to him, do what you gotta do.
Sin, be careful asking for 9/11. You may not like the results you desired. Thank you, not the FBI. And you tell him, Steve Dave, the quality here is just chef's kiss because it's on the Silent Sin. Oh, okay. I wouldn't want to be one of those idiots just watching on Sinatra Screams. I'd watch on both or just the Silent Sin. But if you're not there, get there, dipshits. Thank you, Steve Dave. And if my mathing is mathing, that should be a new stream boss's Gamer Valine. There you go. Congrats. Oh, shit. I clicked the wrong thing. Of course I did.
How often does she claim stream boss?
Oh, the seat is kind of curved to fit her ass.
What? It's a very tiny curved seat.
No, she's
Now-
got some junk in that trunk.
Yeah, I'll take your word on that. I've only ever seen her from the, shoulders up.
That's how most people see her.
Touche. Well done. Okay, I've got a question. Why are you so lazy? Why don't you have months worth of statistics for Stream Boss, including brackets? The fuck? People work hard to be Stream Boss. What's wrong with you?
I'm not big on the tontine. I don't know. All right, let's get back. Oh,
hold on.
Wrong thing. Oh, that
A
yes.
vow till people die? What are you talking about?
No, the tontine is like the. Oh yeah, that. I don't have a tontine of stream bosses. I don't know who was where and who's made it, who hasn't.
Are you waiting for them to die?
Get killed off as stream boss.
Okay.
But yeah, they're gonna just take out the COVID emergencies. And that just happens to go side by side with the The WHO maintaining the alert status for COVID is at the highest alert, but they see a transition point.
I got that idea from Charlie from Moist Critical. He's doing brackets and stages for his Moist Critical gaming. Irrelevant to the game. Who's pulling the most W's, and then look, we got a chart, and so's pulling ahead, and then blah blah blah, and it's all for. It's hilarious because it's fucking Charlie and he's great.
That is pretty cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Guys,
why isn't there a Sinatra gaming consortium?
Because Sinatra doesn't have fucking time to game.
Yeah, I'll just bust your balls. You're like the least lazy person I know online. It's fine.
But you know what they're not worried about transitioning? The utilities utilities shut off power to homes to nearly 6 million people during the pandemic. So, when they shut down your job, said you couldn't work, closed your small business and taxed you a higher rate. Well, when you couldn't pay for your power, they just shut it off. Like, you're not allowed to go to work. We're going to give you $1,800 for 6 months to live on. And if you can't pay your power bill, that sucks to be you. This is just disgusting to me. How can you do this to people? How are people okay with you doing this to them?
Thank you.
Also a very important question.
Reverend Al talked about the you can say natural suspicion, but words to that effect, they're inherent suspicions. People should, as Americans, have a healthy, not far gone, but healthy level of suspicion of government and those in power.
Always.
That is the natural balance of the American polity. We trust in the people, not the government. You don't question the motivations of the people because they're the ones trying to live and they don't have power. So who do you have suspicion of? The people who are in power. Like this is why one person holding office for 35 fucking years in the same congressional district is highly suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's like that person is clearly turned into a glutton for the power they wield and do not want to go anywhere. How many bills have they introduced that were successful? What is your track record congressionally? Does anybody even know? Do news entertainers even care to inform people how to judge the effectiveness of a member of the House of Representatives? And no, it's not how many times they appear on MSNBC. Otherwise, AOC would be the most successful politician in American history.
I just don't get the idea that if you question the government, you're somehow a fascist, racist Nazi.
Oh, all the way.
How did we get to that point?
Like Shapiro jokes, like, I'm old enough to remember, and he's talking about something that happened 3 years ago, like, to emphasize it. It's like, and I am old enough to remember watching live Hillary Clinton say for the coming up on the 2016 election that Donald Trump is poisoning our democracy by insinuating that he wouldn't respect the results of the election. Remember that? This was before he won.
I remember
that. Really? And then so what happens afterwards when you don't win? You didn't just question it. You said this is the case. He is a false president. He did get in because Russia helped him. There's no question about that. We all had to listen about the Mueller probe and yada, yada, yada. They were talking about impeaching him before he had been inaugurated. And they did try and impeach him twice. And now they're investigating and arresting.
And they're trying to do it
election deniers now. You've got to be fucking kidding me. You guys?
Hold on. We gotta ratio make better. Support host. Watch Silent Sin. But Polly, I got one for you. This is doctors suggest reducing anesthesia. Would you suffer to combat climate change? They're trying to reduce anesthesia to combat climate change.
Make the case. I want to hear the case. Go ahead.
Experts are now recommending doctors reduce their use of certain kinds of anesthesia in order to combat the effects of climate change.
Mm-hmm.
Experts.
Yes. bloggers, Twitters.
Yeah. Twitterers. That's their big.
But how, man? How? Like, what's the basis?
Okay, here we go. Research notes that inhaled anesthesia accounts for up to 0.01% of the world's carbon emissions.
So you're trying to tell me if one Indian shithole comprising a grand total of 300 people were to stop burning dung for heating fuel, it would be the same effect as everybody on the globe not using anesthesia anymore?
So what are we going to go back to, like the bourbon and hammer method?
Yeah, right? Like old like in Westerns and shit. All right, bite down on this leather strap, have a shot of whiskey, and we'll pull that tooth. No way, man, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What did they bite down on when they had a tooth thing?
Nothing.
They grip some shit?
Yeah, I think you'd have to.
I mean, that's what people just come to mind because like I'm lacking in sleep and high on medication. They people always say, what era would you like to go back to? And I always ask the reverse question: can I bring penicillin and painkillers with me?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, I don't want to go that far back.
I would like to go visit other eras, but I like Wi-Fi and air conditioning. I'm pretty happy where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
what am I going to go till a field as a peasant or go be a gladiator? No, I want to sit on my computer in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Am I going to get stabbed for other people's amusement? No.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a necessary outcome.
Okay, I'll just stab other people for their amusement.
I've thought a lot about that in the Old West. I think I could get along in the Old West if I had penicillin and painkillers. Because, I mean, think about this.
Penicillin for sure.
Yeah. Somebody wrongs you. You know what I mean? You have any idea how easy it would be to kill someone back then?
Oh, yeah. You just kind of like, oh, man, they just fell over.
Yeah.
Freedom.
There was freedom in the Old West. You're right, Steve Dave. Thank you for the $1. You know them, Polly. Twitterers, bloggers, tweeters, and twooters. I dare call them twits. Oops, there it is. I'll be canceled in 10 minutes. Twooters?
Twooters.
Bloggers or just the Twitterers?
Twooters.
Twitter users. The ones who direct our national policy, according to Joe Scarborough. Thanks a lot, man. No, in the Old West, there's nothing I love reading more than the wanted posters and descriptions from anywhere from the colonial era up to the Old West, because it was like just the periods I'm interested in where I'm going to have bothered to have read newspapers some of the time. They're hilarious, Sin. We're looking for a man who's, he stands medium height, slight build, hair parted to the right, was last seen wearing a gray suit, and walks with a somewhat roguish gait.
Yeah.
And say, you're fucking kidding me. How the fuck did anyone ever get caught for anything? I think people were just blabbermouths back then and didn't realize they had to shut the fuck up because photography hadn't been invented yet.
That's true.
I mean, somebody wrongs you. I was like, would you call my horse?
I'm like big drums.
Exactly, Akira. You do that to him in an alley and then move to the next town and say, I just came in. I'm a local marketer of dried goods. You just got here? That's right.
Yeah. Did you see that dead guy? I thought I saw something in the bush, but I didn't know. It's just boots.
Akira, thank you for the $10 in the gun pot of death. There's just no way it's 0.1%. That's actually a shitload. It was 0.01, wasn't it?
No, it was 0.1%.
Okay.
I don't believe any of the numbers they claim to talk about.
Maybe 0.00001%. Akira continues. This is dumb. We'll just forget that if India or China still didn't exist, neither would be plus 80% of the positive of the positive part of pollution. That's why I was referencing like some Indian town where there's 300 people burning dung for interior heating. I don't want those people to be cold and freeze. I'm just calling for perspective. The amount of carbon released, the amount of pollution in the air. Again, you can do all of the things that you want to do. And if you do not address first India and China, nothing you will do will have any effect for the planet. It's like trying to affect gun deaths in America and never talking about suicide or the mental health aspects of federal governance.
You know what? IR in the chat had a good point. Stop anesthesia while doing free heroin. I think it's just another bit to get more people to do buy fentanyl, honestly.
Can't afford fentanyl? We got some black tar for you. China white if you're having a good weekend.
So take a look at this video. Finland has introduced the world's first transgender national figure skater. Watch. I'm going to kill the audio because it doesn't matter. The audio doesn't matter to nothing.
You're not sharing the screen with me.
Oh, you're right. I'm not. Shit, hold on. Because I was on a different thing. Now I'm on a different thing. And you're not seeing the different thing. Bang.
I'd like to.
Bang.
Watch
you got it?
I do.
Guys, smash like, share it out. Go to the silence and support the hosts if you want. That last one is a request. The first two are a demand. Look at this Olympic figure skater.
It's a little shaky.
Wobbliest legs to ever wobble. Just play it off.
What?
How you getting out of this mess? Oh, just got the camera. Oh no, we're still down. Oh boy. Oh God. Oh.
What is that person again? I was waiting for you to.
It's a female or male to female transgender individual.
What's that? Okay. All right. All jokes aside.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you were going to say they were a Olympian athlete. I thought you were going to say that the person was disabled in some kind of way. And it was a bad look for the Paralympics.
No, I would have been able to forgive that.
What does what she's doing have to do with trans anything? She just sucks. Like, I'm sitting here thinking you're giggling at a disabled person. Well, I mean, you kind of are, but you get my point. Like, I'm thinking you're a bastard, and I'm looking at chat and they're laughing too, and because I thought y'all were laughing at a retard.
No, like, this is just a regular person
who just really sucks.
Really sucks. I don't even know how to ice skate, and I think I can do better than that. You balance on one foot and move forward. I think I could do that.
Did anyone check to see if this person had ever skated? Ever?
Oh, let me read these. So graceful, like a swan choking on an apple. Its throat. Lady Monteceros, my BF's family ancestor was a man with the last name Richard. He murdered someone and moved to Louisiana, where the Cajun and French, was heavily used. The cops asked for a Richard, but because of the Frenchness, they pronounced it Rashad. He got away. No fucking way. Huh.
And you wonder why bounties on people were so big back in the Western days, huh?
Yeah.
It wasn't easy to find people.
Yeah, you couldn't just like look them up on Facebook.
Right?
You have to be like, hey, have you seen this man? And you pull out like a stick figure with a mustache. It's like, oh, that's Bill. He's the new sheriff.
You imagine walking up to a bar with your spurs a wrangling and a jangling, and you put your finger on your belt and you ask for a drink, and then you lean into the bartender and, have you seen a man with a roguish gait come through here? How's that helping anyone?
Could you imagine how bad the whiskey was back then?
White lightning with food coloring in it? Yeah, I
It's
can't.
fucking terrible.
I mean, it'd be moonshine with additives,
2-month barrel-aged moonshine.
Yeah. And the 2 months wasn't aging. It's just how long it took to transport from the distillery. That it wasn't intentional. Yeah.
So we have to touch on this real quick because this is just the craziest shit I've ever heard. Everyone here knows who MrBeast is, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing a thing right now where he's traveling the world and people who can be cured, he is paying for the surgeries to have their blindness cured. 1,000 people across the world. He gave 10 grand to somebody, 50 grand to a college student for college, and a Tesla to a patient who just got their vision back.
Okay.
So like generally pretty good shit.
Yep.
But not according to Lance from the Surfs. People are honestly praising MrBeast yet again. The guy does poverty tourism for cash. If he pays the personal medical bills a lottery style without informing anyone with his platform that it's fucked that he needs to do that. He's just profiting off his ability to do so. So while he is redistributing his wealth, as the socialist types want you to do, he isn't doing it properly. So MrBeast is a bad guy?
That pretty much sums up the hot take here. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody in my comment, because I quote tweeted this, somebody in my comment said, no, he's just mad that he's not getting a cut of the money. Like, that's probably most likely it.
I can't imagine life in this lane where your job is to have hot takes on things that you actually don't care about and trying to manufacture disgust and outrage. Well, you'd look like Joe, Morning Joe.
Yeah, Lance is just scum. He's an asshole. This is an interesting story, though. Woman unloads entire clip into her baby daddy's side chick. And this is a fight at a gas station. Things got out of hand pretty quickly. But she pulled out her strap and started shooting up the side chick. And a cop, just to make it so much worse, Humphrey was on patrol in the city.
That's the side chick?
No, this was the side chick. This was the lady who did the shooting.
Yeah.
Humphrey was on patrol around the city when he saw the fight in the parking lot. He got out of his patrol car. Authorities say a woman fired her weapon into a group. Humphrey then reportedly fired his gun at the suspected shooter. The suspected shooter?
Yeah. They haven't verified.
Missed her and hit a 22-year-old who's in critical condition.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, if this is the side chick, you threw out the wrong priorities, my friend.
Yeah.
Other way around, but so this was just some absolutely uninvolved.
Yeah, this was just somebody like walking by.
Fuck hell.
He shot her and she's in critical condition.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a phrase to describe that. Like it'd just be like some circus bullshit if it wasn't so lethal.
That's bad. That's really bad, dude. Yeah, you shot just some innocent person.
I mean, imagine having to be her, the 22-year-old's here's parents or friends or her boyfriend or whatever the fuck, right? The police might inform you, oh, she's dead. Oh, how'd she die? And then you have to listen to what you just said?
Yeah. It's just a crazy wrong side chick. It's a crazy story, but they indicted a 6th cop after this one. And I saw the footage, man, that is some straight up gang type shit what they did to this guy.
Yeah.
Like the 4 of them were taking turns holding his hands behind his back while he was handcuffed. Yeah. And one would punch him or kick him or do something. Then they'd just swap places. and they indicted another one. Body camera footage, the video shows
alcohol, liquor, booze.
Was not involved. They're just murderers, Akira. Go on.
But they just said in connection with the incident. They don't say how this guy's involved, but they say in connection. So I think that they think that there's some actual gang affiliation going on there.
Akira, thank you for the $2. There is a word to describe it. Ghetto.
But Whoopi Goldberg's got us. She's got our back.
But, you know, when will the brutality finally lead to some police reform from the ground up? Because clearly, it doesn't matter if it's a white policeman or a black policeman. It is a problem in the police, in the policing. Yeah. It's
which is a deviation.
Was never heard to say until right now. You know, they love talking about the statistics of police involved shootings and how likely the person being shot is, et cetera, right? There's never any analytics that are discussed. The analysis, the data's there. What was the race of the officers involved? And it's like, there's no corollary comparison that you can make. It's all over the place. Yet the claim is always white supremacy, and this is happening because, you know, the police are racist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, the numbers are higher. It's like, well, for white folks with a police encounter that they're likely to be shot, and not just be shot, but shot and killed. And it's like, okay, until you start going per 100,000 in only urban areas, and then add 5 other constraints to the data, does it become something other than white people? So I'm not saying you can't go find a source that it's, you know, no, black people are the more proportional victims of it. Remember when the Washington Post tracked deaths of black people at the hands of police officers, and in 1 year they were able to pull together 9 the first year they did it for the whole country?
Yep.
9. That's a bad weekend for murder in Chicago.
Just listen.
South, you know, things don't seem to make sense to people unless it's somebody they can feel or they can recognize. But how many times do we need to see white people also get beaten before anybody will do anything?
Fuck off.
There it is. Because that never happens.
It's white supremacy and white people benefiting from a system set up for them, you know, classic idiotic CRT social Marxist thinking, right up until it doesn't fit the narrative. And now it's like, well, black people are disproportionately the victims of it. It's like, the victims of what? This violence. Well, I thought it was perpetrated upon them because of white supremacy. You're trying to tell me a bunch of large, able-bodied black men are white supremacists? So Sin and I watched that footage after the show, and I think he described it perfectly. It's not just that they're cussing. It's how they're talking to each other. It's the language they're using. It sounded like a bunch of high school dudes beating up on somebody who had it coming because of some perceived disrespect. It sounded like some gang shit. It seriously, the way they were talking to each other. Hold that motherfucker still. Fuck no, his arms get there. You got him, and then poof, poof, and then, like Sin said, they're taking turns while other guy holds him and the other guy beats the shit out of him. This guy died in the hospital from blunt force trauma. No.
Yep. 3 days later. That's a rough couple of days.
Nobody pepper sprayed him. Nobody got out their extendable batons. Nobody had a gun. It was straight fists and feet the whole time. That's why they're saying hold him. It's like, why didn't you just pepper spray him? It would have incapacitated him. Why didn't you cuff him? Like because they didn't want to. His arms would have been all fucked up, or his wrists would have been all fucked up from trying to resist to get his hands up.
Oh no, they did handcuff him. They just beat him after they handcuffed him.
No, I mean, he was still when they were laying the kicks to him before the second footage that we watched took over. He wasn't cuffed yet.
Let me read this real quick. Sam Silent, don't listen to Lance Sin. Dude tried to win an argument about black teen pregnancy and condom usage by using a statistic about older black gay men. Oh, that's interesting. Jacob, for $1. My question is, what type of reform would you like to see, Ms. Goldberg? Even more defunding so we could have even worse cops? What about the psychologists that go to a hostage call? This is about abolishment, nothing more. At this point, I would rather see the police as they stand right now, just tools for the state to pretty much have free reign over people. Like, we've had cops stealing shit. I would rather see the police abolished as they are right now and built again from the ground up with cops who have no loyalty to anybody but the law and the Constitution than the shit we have now. Cops that don't go in to save kids in a shooting. Cops that go into your home and steal your stuff. Cops that take 6 guys and beat one to death in the street. That's my hot take on that one.
Nice timing. Oh, shit.
Women.
Alcohol, liquor, booze.
Women cops who just shoot guys in the head because they're women.
I went and talked to that. A bunch of people was like, did you see that female cop that shot that guy in the head and then yelled out, "Oh my God, I shot him"? I asked like 2, 3, 4 people about that. No one had heard anything about it.
No, of course not.
I hadn't. I still can't get over that she like told on herself like that.
How do I donate to Stream? That's Streamlabs. Top link listed down below.
Gulf City Librarian, thank you for the $3. Dude, they restrained him, pepper sprayed him, kicked him, and batoned him before the closed fist punches.
Like big drums.
You guys know I got new donations too, damn.
I don't care who you are or what you're saying or how focused. That shit will take you off track, man.
Mm-hmm.
That donation is the concentration Zen blaster. Okay, Gulf City Librarian is saying, dude, they restrained him, pepper sprayed him, kicked him, and batoned him before the closed fist punches. The pepper spray also hit fellow cops. I don't know. I'm just talking about the footage that Sin was playing. Like, that was from the body cam angle, which looked like the first half of what I could tell of the beating. And then you, Sin, pulled up the second angle of footage. And at that point, he was standing and they had him handcuffed and were punching him. So that's where I'm taking that from.
Ed and Joe had a really good.
I was just going to say, it sounds like it went on for a hell of a lot longer than what I saw then, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, it went on for like a while. Ed and Joe had a really good point on Twitter. Cops, when they get busted doing stuff, they should be punished harder than regular people would. Like, they should have more of a punishment. Like, if a cop gets caught drinking and driving, he should have a harsher punishment than if you or I did. Or if a cop gets caught, beating somebody in the street to death, they shouldn't have the qualified immunity. They should have harsher punishments.
Should they have harsher punishments? It would be difficult to make an argument against harsher punishments for police for crimes committed, like crimes of moral turpitude, when not on duty. Yes.
You should never have unelected law enforcement. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but that's how you get corrupt sheriffs being elected. Not that I'm saying I'm against electing sheriffs. I still think it's a good idea, but small town sheriffs tend to get elected again and again by paying off the right people in town to have enough people show up and enough ballots stuffed.
Yeah.
So it worries me about individually elected law enforcement. I mean, I get the idea, the sentiment behind it, yeah, because their hiring practices are clearly a little fucked up. Freedom. It seems like they're much more interested in... Remember The Departed? That sums up so much of it for me. The first time Billy Costigan meets with his therapist when he's pretending to be an ex-con.
Yeah.
And he was, so what, do they come in here and cry? She asks him. Well, how'd you know the person leaving here was a cop? I don't know. Bad haircut, no dress sense, and a jackass. What did he say? How did he say it? A scumbag air of entitlement. Yeah, sounds about right.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And she goes, yeah, sure. Some of them cry when they come in here if they're distraught enough, if they had to use their weapons in the line of duty. He says, if they had to, half of them signed up to use their weapons. They don't do psych evals on that, do they?
No, of course not.
Do they have a criminal history? Do they have this? Are they of the right demographic, race, body type, weight, gender, whatever the fuck? Seem to be larger concerns than the people that are signed up as an outlet for their psychotic, violent tendencies.
And they need to just repeal the whole mandate for cops. That's where a lot of the good cops got lost in that. Now we have the people, the recruits, the rookies, the gang members, the whomever they brought in. They're the ones running the show now. That's why we have people go, well, I'm just going to steal this $6,000 and we could split it. Like, no,
right.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Crossfire 4891. Thank you for the $2. Daniel Shaver, 26-year-old white man, was machine gunned down by the police in 2016.
He had an AR-15 that had on the ejector port, it said "get fucked" or "you're fucked" or something like that.
That's the guy in the hallway?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh man,
no,
you should hear.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
That's Daniel Shaver, who was the guy who was drunk that wasn't obeying their bizarre commands.
Yeah.
Lay down on the
they were
ground and
asking
crawl
him to do the
towards us.
hokey pokey.
Yeah. Yeah, you should hear Quiz talk about that. Few things I've ever heard get him that incensed, especially the outcome of it, where they just fired them. And then that was it. They went off. That was the end of it. So can you imagine committing murder on camera? And yeah, that's it. It's fine. Just find another job somewhere else.
And that's what it was. And the case of Tony Timpa, which happened like around the same time as the George Floyd thing did, he had his neck knelt on, and I don't think any cop should be using that hold, but he had his neck knelt on and he died. He was a white guy. No one gave a shit. And the cop got off, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, I was initially confused by just the way it was said. Q Continuum said that was on the cop's rifle. Yeah. The guy who was shot was at the end of a hallway. There were two police at the opposing end of the hallway. They both had AR-15s. The guy was unarmed. Daniel Shaver. Shaver? Yeah. Was drunk and not able to follow commands very well. And Sin's right. They were basically asking him to do the hokey pokey or Simon Says or something. The stuff they were yelling at him when you watch the body cam footage makes no sense. It was like, don't move your hands. Put your hands up. Interlock your fingers behind your head. Get down on the ground. Crawl towards. The guy was out of his, plastered. And then, don't do that. Don't do that. And they blasted him. And yeah, his rifle on the dust cover said, you're fucked.
That's hard footage to watch. That's really hard footage to watch.
I have never seen beyond the blackout footage. Like, just so you hear the gunshots. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the screen goes black from, I didn't see him get shot. I don't want to.
Yeah,
not really.
No, don't. In Judge Dredd, when the judge fucked up, abused their power and got caught, they were completely exiled from society or Minecraft. I'm okay with that. Me too, Hakira. Honestly, maybe I'm just getting older and I'm starting to kind of see the stuff more, but I think Polly might not agree with my next statement. I don't know how you can say back the blue and don't tread on me. Like they are the tread. They are the tread, and we have seen nothing. We have seen nothing but them actively treading on people. Remember during 2020 when the mandate started, you started to see the videos of cops showing up at people's houses going, "Why are your kids playing outside? You know they can't be out right now." It's like, what? Why? Well, they're in your neighbor's yard playing. Like, I had cops show up at fucking my house the one time too. It's just, and this cop was a fucking dick. I've talked about this before. He's like, "Put your cigarette out." No, I'm in my driveway. I'm not putting my cigarette out. What are you talking about? It's just we have gone, and really quickly too, in just like a year and a half, we have transitioned from, there are good cops and we should defend the good cops, which is still the case, but the good cops are super few and far between anymore. And whenever the media goes silent on something, I actively try to pay attention to it. And I feel like that's what we're seeing now with the cops, like media silence on bad cops. I don't even see the the one I just showed you, the Memphis one. That's in the news for like 8 minutes, and now it's just coverage of the civil unrest there instead of the actual issue. But that's just kind of where I fall. I know that's a hot take, especially in this community, and probably a lot of people disagree with it, but it's kind of where I've fallen on it. They're just not your friends. They're not there to help you. They're just trying to gather evidence on you or get you in one way or another, usually. Sure, I mean, I've seen cops like help people change their tires and shit.
Liquor, booze.
You want to grab yours and I'll grab these? Oh, he muted. I'm like, oh man, I must have really pissed him off. I was like, man, I must have really pissed him off. He went quiet. No, he's muted. Well, I do agree some cops tread of their people. There are others that genuinely care. Of course there are. For example, Illinois AWB, the sheriff, said he would not enforce the law. The sheriffs are a little bit different than your beat cops. The reason 2A sanctuaries, yeah. Yeah, I pretty much got that point after 2022. Exactly, that's the thing, is 2020 was a real big shift. Sheriffs seem to have kept a little bit of a hold of themselves. General Maddie, I've been watching you for 3 years since I was 15. I love your content. Thanks, Maddie, that's awesome. Happy birthday? Wormy Slurpy for 13. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Let's take a look at that. Take a look at that stream goal. Ooh, we're up there, and Valine is looking pretty low. Valine is definitely within striking distance, and we're about a quarter of our way to gold, guys. Not bad. Not bad at all. Civil confiscation, forfeiture is bullshit. If we're going to talk about this honestly, we have to talk about civil asset forfeiture. We have to talk about qualified immunity. We have to talk about the blue sign. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we have to address in order to have honest conversations about this, because we are too far to a point where you just can't defund the police. You have to have an honest conversation. You have to be realistic and say, okay, what realistic steps can we take in order for meaningful police reform? Qualified immunity, civil asset forfeiture, that kind of stuff is things we should talk about. And harsher punishments for the laws that they are supposed to enforce when they break them. It's a neat word for robbery. It really is a neat word for robbery. Sure. Yeah. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, a phone call came in there. I just had to answer real quick. And you know, the people with the, just 1 second, it'll just take a second, and you know, it's going to take a minute.
Yeah, you're good.
How does everyone know when I'm streaming? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, let's keep it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me read some donations.
Oh,
I actually some civil asset forfeiture thoughts. Crossfire 4891. Thank you for $2. The Daniel Shaver and Gun Down in 2016. Look up the footage and review after the show. I saw at the time that it happened. Cops seemed to enjoy doing it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially the young punk. He looked like he was tacked out from a fucking PUBG game. It was fucking sick. In the bad way. Akira, thank you for $10 and the gun pot of death. How many black men have to die to black-on-black violence before people like Whoopi, Lemon, and Talcum X actually start speaking about that? That's a good chunk of homicides.
That's a sizable amount.
That's the majority. Right. So, Akira, you're right. Sizable chunk, majority, agreed. The most likely cause of death if you're black between 18 and 35 is to be killed by another black man who's between 18 and 35. There's no other demographic that's like that. Remember when Trump called it national carnage during his inaugural address?
Oh, yeah.
And everyone said, all the news entertainers called it dark. Oh, it was so dark. And he kept American carnage. Yeah, it wasn't national carnage. It was American carnage. It is American carnage. I don't agree with every Trump turn of phrase, but that's a whole generation of black people, and black people that are news entertainers are the last people to talk about it. Shouldn't you care the most? I picked the perfect length of time to let that gun shoot, man, because it's always just like a second from being done before I think, now it's done. And then it shoots a little while longer. Akira, thank you for the $10. Yeah, greatly appreciate a good chunk of homicide. Steve Dave, thank you for the $1. Two things. One, can that $10 dono be renamed Concentration Zen Blaster? And two, anyone want to start a band called Concentration Zen Blaster? That's not a bad idea for a band. I'd call my punk band. No, ska band, Concentration Zen Blaster. It's a little more grating. Akira, thank you for $2. We're conditioned to believe that the police are the best of us, the honorable guardians that couldn't be further from the truth, especially at this point. Well,
yeah.
And finally, thank you for the $10 and the gun pot of death or the Concentration Zen Blaster. I know when you stream donated because I'm hiding in your trees.
Oh.
Motherfucker.
All right, I'm gonna try a Hail Mary on this one. You didn't watch my show last night, did you, sir?
Mine? Yeah, that's sorry. Me? I meant to say.
Yes, you.
Did I? No, I didn't. Yeah,
Okay.
Because I was in that sort of mental state last night. Yes. Yeah.
Because there is a new donation I made that I think you will thoroughly enjoy. It's up there though. It's at $69.69. I swapped out what was there. I don't remember what was there, but I swapped it out for something new, and I think that is something you would really enjoy.
So not just
a whole fuck ton of new donations.
You got the caviar donations. I got the McDonald's value menu donations, man. It's just
hey, man, that shit adds the fuck up. Which I was talking about this to Shelly the other day. I'm like, and he's onto something with that. The more lower amount ones, like there's some there with that one. So I added a whole bunch of new ones for the lower amounts. The $6.99, the Obie one, the Be a Man, the Bonk, all that. Like those are all low end. I got to add more low end ones.
I don't know. The Obie one I think should have been higher.
I think it's perfect right there.
What is it? $6.50?
$6.99.
$6.99. I'm just a fan of that one. It kills me.
Yeah, I mean that one is solid. And then the 911? That's your dog right shotgun.
I think that's about the best thing you could possibly be identified as. Like William Shatner has Peak with Captain Kirk right next to that. Oh, look, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. The rest of your life, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I would be too.
You're one of the coolest characters out there, or you brought one of the coolest characters to life. You know, especially a character that existed for decades, like with Ewan McGregor.
Really well.
Fucking right, he did.
Like the movies were terrible, but Ewan McGregor, he undeniable.
That's the greatest tragedy of it all. Can you imagine a good Star Wars storyline and McGregor playing Obi-Wan? Oh, making him watching the original movie is just sad.
I love it.
We're looking at sea otters. 6 of them here.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
We're looking at sea otters.
How many people do you think walk up to him and say that too?
I would.
Hey, you're Obi-Wan. I just got to replay this one more time. I love it. It's so good. What's Ava Green up to? Was that good? He had to just go take care of it right there. As someone on their way to become a cop, it's upsetting to see bad cops and the stigma that surround us because of the bad eggs. Yeah, it is. And I'm sick of the fucking argument that only cops should have guns. No, I think this is all proof that no, they shouldn't. They most certainly should the fuck not be the only ones. Steve Dave, I like it too. And Omega Simp for the 6969. Thank you very much, sir. Omega Simp, you gotta message me on the Dis of Chords. Shatner is the only base captain. Crunch.
If in IRL, yeah, he really is. It's sad but true.
That was quick.
What?
You disappeared for like 5 minutes.
Because Wait a minute, that was you. Who told me that story? Oh,
What?
no, okay.
Did you slip out of reality?
I did, yes. Around 3 p.m. yesterday.
Did you like the new donation?
I saw that. I did like it. I had my headphones off one ear, so I even heard it.
He is very whelmed by my donation.
The so he's saying I'm watching the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And I'm like, oh, my condolences. And I didn't like it very much, but I liked what's his name is Jonah Jameson. He's fucking fantastic.
Yes, J. Jonah Jameson was amazing. I'm committing war crimes in Sinatra server. This cannot stand. I don't know what you're doing. But I didn't like Topher Grace as Spider-Man.
No, neither did I. No, he was never, Topher Grace was never Spider-Man. He was, whatchamacallit? He was Eddie Brock.
Peter Parker. All right,
no, he was
where
Eddie
are you
Brock.
committing crimes?
You're talking about Tobey Maguire, not Topher Grace.
Who the fuck? Oh, yeah, it's the same person.
No, he's not. He's literally his mortal enemy.
No, the Tobey Maguire and Topher Grace are the same person. They're just different shades.
The clone molted another one.
Yeah, it's just a little off. But I didn't like Tobey Maguire. I didn't like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Yeah, so that's what everyone's saying. Venom. Yeah, he was Eddie Brock. No. But regardless, I had totally forgotten this joke because it's been so long since I've seen the first Spider-Man movie. He, when they first introduced J. Jonah Jameson, Brandt comes into the office and says, your wife is on line 3 or whatever. And he goes, thanks. And he picks up the phone and immediately hangs it up. Doesn't even put it to his ear.
Oh my God, Far, you are committing war crimes. What the shit? Look at this. Oh, I opened it up in the wrong tab. What is this shit?
What? That is what Nuremberg has something to say about this, Far. This is no good.
I would try it.
It's not even good sushi. It's just sushi roll.
I'm hungry. I'll try it.
Fish eggs and milk, man. Think that over.
I did. I'm hungry. Like I'm relegated. I would try it. But shit, what was I about to say?
Nothing. I was about to say what brought that to mind is that's pretty much what I did. It's like you weren't gone for that long. I was like, I'm streaming, and then hung up. That was it.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Because I saw whose number it was, and I know what they wanted. It was to yak, and I was like, okay, yeah, no.
So they're gonna keep saying 11 million, but illegal border crossings soar 743% as U.S.-Canada border as migrant crisis worsens. So they're coming up to Canada.
Who is? I lost the plot.
The illegal crossings, they're just going right to Canada.
So the United States has become Mexico?
Kinda, but it's
where El Salvadorians are crossing through one nation state to get to another?
Apparently.
Or we've become France, God forbid.
With Border Patrol agents apprehending more illegal aliens in New Hampshire, New York, and Vermont in 2 months than the previous 2 years combined.
Which border agents? U.S. border agents?
Yeah.
How the fuck is it? Why isn't it Canadian border agents?
I don't know. That's a really fucking good question. Because Canada has more stringent immigration laws than we do.
I got nothing. Is Trudeau just ordering like, yeah, let him in? We're the first post-national state. God, I love that line. But not as much as I loved, if you kill your enemies, you've let them win.
But that's our northern border, you frostbacks. Let's take a look at our southern border. Terror watch list sex offenders have surged at the southern border, and these Americans are worried. I should say all. All Americans are worried. I don't know. about you guys. I have a good feeling about you guys, but I am not super keen on terror watch lists and sex offenders just running over the border.
Yes.
Adidas said, we don't patrol our border, which makes sense because none of us are trying to come over to you. And this probably was not a thought about occurrence, honestly. I think it's Canadians running for freedom. Well, they're running the wrong way. Like, you don't run from New York to Iglooville for freedom. You run the other way.
New York, you sure? I don't know.
Okay, maybe Iglooville is a little more better than New York, but you get my point. But that does make sense. I have seen more border patrol vehicles in Cleveland in the past 2 years than ever before in my life.
Which is weird. Like, I get it. It's not like the most central place in the world, but downtown Cleveland? What? Why?
Downtown Cleveland and in the suburbs, like on the highway, like they're just going.
Is there a DHS headquarters there or something that they're?
Let me look. Actually,
they might have a car depot there. Something. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it. I don't know.
We have Department of Homeland Security. One is in. It's Cleveland, but that looks like that's right off of Grayton Road. Really? Oh, that's by the.
Just another guy says, just tax remittance at 30 to 40% and watch them leave real quick.
Boy, they would lose their goddamn minds.
If you think that the language is turned up to 11, the heat, the rhetoric, right? Do that. Just not just tax it at all. You know what I mean? Like 30, 40%. Yeah, you would hear like, this is the end of the world. Armageddon is here. Like they'd have to move past racism because they're already full on at 11 racism. So what would they call it? The devil's
Department
come to
of
earth.
Health and Human Services. Okay, yeah, we have one here, and it's on the west side by one of my favorite bars ever. But yeah,
you have a Department of Homeland Security depot next to a bar.
It's in an office building.
Yeah, okay.
It's in like I think the office building there's a massage therapy thing in there too. Like it's one of those.
Run by Asians? Is it one of those?
No.
Oh.
I got a story for you after the show, actually.
Okay.
Father raided by FBI found not guilty of federal charges alleging he assaulted an abortion worker. Yeah, we knew that. we knew that. You can't beat up on kids and then expect the father not to jump on you. What's wrong with you? This was one of the craziest stories ever. And this was another thing. Cops raided this guy's fucking house, like full on FBI cop raid because he pushed somebody who hit his kid. I don't know how this was even remotely a thing that Merrick Garland would get involved in, but here we go.
Orders is orders.
I got a little more for you, Polly. Zelensky begs for more weapons as Russia mobilizes 200,000 more troops. Guys, you're not going to win.
200,000 more troops for invasion. Is this guy planning a major offensive into
Putin?
Russia?
No, Russia is mobilizing the troops.
Oh, so it's just a really shitty worded headline.
Yes.
Because Zelensky is the referent object, so that means he's doing the invading.
Oh, well, you would think, but NATO and Russia headed for direct collision, warns Moscow, and NATO responded, "We're ready for it." That's great.
Listen,
I'm not
cord sleeve man.
His sleeves look like they have those little metal things that they put on the back of hair wash liquid, shampoo.
Hair wash liquid.
You know, those little fucking metal detector things that set off the alarm at Walmart.
Okay. I know what you're talking about, yeah. What, the tanks weren't enough The Leopard tanks, the Abrams tanks, those weren't. Well, yeah, we can always put those. We can only sell them off after a year that we've claimed we've been training people on them. So we need, more money. Fuck.
I hope you guys have your SPF 25 million handy. But this AAA is brought to you with the tagline, "Had me in the first half, not gonna lie." McCarthy announces a fair tax which should abolish the IRS and income tax. Abolish the IRS and income tax. Yay! But we would have a flat tax of 23% on goods and services. Boo.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, you had me in the first half. I was with you, but no, 23% tax. I would just like to remind everybody we started a whole revolutionary war over 3%. You had me in the first half. You had me in the first half, but I just have a little chart here for what, this is the basics of it. Why do you need a gun? For tyranny, for close-up tyranny, for far-away tyranny, for lots of tyranny.
That's good. That's the kind of poster I want in my loading room. That's great.
Absolutely. But I have a palate cleanser. You want it?
Yes.
Flat tax of 10%, call it a day. I would be fine with 10. You know what? I would even say 12. I would be fine with 10 to 12 if it gets rid of the IRS and all that shit. I'd be fine with 10 to 12.
It's a comfortable number. It's this is you're doing your taxes at the end of year, state and federal and whatnot. You know what I mean? And it's like, people are like, you pay a flat tax at 10 to 15%. You're like, yeah, man. You could actually use the lame arguments that people use. Someone's got to build and maintain the roads, bro. You live here. This pays for the all of the things that the government does. Yeah, I'm fine with 15%. I'm not fine with what I pay right now. It's way too fucking much, man.
When's Thanksgiving dinner again?
Mysteriously, we have it on Thanksgiving. So
that's weird. Look at this baby flamingo trying to learn to stand on one leg. Look at this guy go.
He get it up. He's trying. He's trying. Yeah, he did it.
Hey, look at him go. Look at him. He's so tiny. He's so learning.
So itchy.
He's so cute. I just want to huck him at a wall.
Yeah.
Those little splat balls. Just look at him.
Or throw him squealing into someone's face. Yeah.
He looks perfectly palm-sized.
Yeah. Be like one of them little Nerf balls. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. That's it for the show. Do you have anything you want to show?
Wednesday show.
Where could they find that at?
Well, it'll be over on my channel, which is just YouTube.com/polydub.
You don't have the @ thing set up? The handle, your YouTube handle?
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a whole thing.
What's the @ how's that work?
It's your YouTube. It's like YouTube @polydub.
No, I have a URL. That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming.
5:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island. It'll be a show.
And the rest of the time zones don't matter. Hold on.
No,
Joshua Montgomery said, so no game? Okay. Polly, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 3.
It is 5.
You win.
Yeah. See? I knew he was tricking me. And for Sherman, thank you for the $3. I swear, next Ukraine is going to be... let me try that again. I swear, next Ukraine is going to ask for a thermonuclear weapon to, quote, help fight the war in Russia. When are we going to learn that giving weapons to allies will only hurt us in the long run?
Because we're responsible for the fucking weapons that we give them. Why do you think Russia came out and said, if you give them shit, they can reach Moscow. I'm holding you responsible for what they do with it. Like, how do people not fight? God damn. Like, have you none of these people are thinking past square one. None of them. I heard Gavin McInnes say this once, and I have kept it with me since I heard him say it. Nobody plays it through. You play it through. Okay, we give Ukraine weapons that can strike Moscow from Ukraine. Then what? Well, Ukraine strikes Moscow. Then what? Well, Moscow strikes back at Ukraine a lot harder. Then they look to who gave them the weapon. If a kid walks to school with a gun, you don't just punish the kid. You go, how the fuck did he get this gun?
Yeah. You know what you do. If Ukraine, we take a page on news entertainment. If Ukraine uses the atomic weapon that they insisted that we give them, and it turns out real bad, and they end up killing a whole bunch of civilians because close enough only counts in nuclear warfare and horseshoes, right? You only need to get close. That's good enough. So you're gonna get some civilians. It's just the way that it is. And depending on prevailing wind patterns, you're gonna get a lot more over the next 30 years. Be like the gun control advocates that are news entertainers. Blame the weapon. It's not their fault. It's not the Ukrainians' fault. It's not the fault of the people that gave it to them. It's the nuke's fault.
Yeah, I don't think Russia's going to play that, though.
No. We'll just tell them that we're enacting common sense nuke control.
Oh, you know what? I like your point. Only the civilians should have nukes. Play it through. Yeah. I like where this is going.
One thing, obviously, in warfare, atomic weaponry has only been used officially twice, right? If there's going to be any atomic weaponry used here, I find it interesting that everybody thinks long range, and I get why. I understand, because it's this strategic nightmare scenario, right? But if nukes are used here, you're going to see battlefield tactical nukes used first.
Yeah, it's going to be city block nukes.
Right, and it's going to strike at a large contingent of Ukrainian forces. That's what you would use them for. That's why they're called battlefield tactical nukes, right? Small, whatever. And yeah, there's a fuck ton of them. Everyone loves talking about the ICBMs with multiple independent reentry vehicles, MIRVs, and they come in from suborbital heights, etc. Yeah, right, because that's the big fucking deal where the whole world's done. That's Armageddon. Nobody thinks about the smaller ones that you launch off of a portable, easily moved platform. That's bad, man, because it's just as bad as having set off a nuke. Once you've let one off, it's the PR is impossible to control.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Ukraine nukes Russia with American-made bomb. Like, I cannot think of anything worse than a fucking. I don't want to say that actually.
Think about Zelensky, the kind of cocksucker that fucker is, and he's facing we have a major contingent. It's their Yorktown, basically, of the American Revolution. They're looking at such a loss that this loss means we're done. He's like, but that's not all of our soldiers. It's enough of them that we're done and we can no longer mount an offense. There are enough British and German troops taken at Yorktown that was the end of the war for Britain, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they had troops all over the fucking map, but enough of them were taken in one place that was the end of it for them. And Lord North's government fell and the American Revolution was won. But that's the way Zelensky's going to look at it if it happens, in my opinion. If as soon as he feels enough pressure on a major contingent of the forces he has, that's when he'll nuke a large contingent that Russia has to stop them, to save his soldiers.
Yeah.
Not thinking, just like you said, 2 minutes ahead of what that means. Like when wind patterns bring it back on Kiev or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we literally saw that happen with a bunch of pepper spraying incidents. It's small. So this is micro scale, but we'd see protesters pepper spraying people and the wind just blows it right back in their face. Like, ah! Would now put a nuclear bomb there instead.
Yeah.
No law abiding government needs a nuke. What are you going to hunt within cities? Don't wear Kevlar.
This is not what the founding fathers intended.
I love
Everyone
that
should have
argument
to register their nukes and go through safety training.
Then you have ghost nukes and gun show purchase nuclear devices.
We need to close the nuclear loophole.
Only the police officers should have nukes. All right, that's it, guys. I put a video up on the Sin and Sash channel. Go check that out. It's I had such horrendous, the worst technical difficulties I have ever had with a show happened last night on Miss Sin's birthday show. Like it was 25 minutes of dead air right at the top. And then halfway through, my audio driver fucked up again. So it was just awful all the way through. But guys, that's it. Go check that out. Wednesday, 5:30 EST, 5:30 a.m. Christmas Island. We will be back with more AAA meeting. Have a lovely evening, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Have a good night, everyone.
Sanooks.